welcome to Improve Seats on your first agricultural television in the city of Abuja, Nigeria. I am Hilda Homsem-Fatu, I'm your host. And today I'm here again with another special and interesting topic, propagation of dwarf banana. I know we have different ways of cultivating and propagating banana. We have the long term and the short one, but right now we're going to talk about the dwarfed one. Due to the climate change and the soil and everything surrounding agriculture now, we have to look for a way to minimize and make good use of the season at a period, at a particular time. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, I will introduce a female, a farmer. I told you this month we're going to deal with farmers, female farmers, because the world is turning around. Men are no longer needed on the farm. They should come back to the kitchen. We will take over the cultivation of the food. Don't go anywhere if you want to meet my guests. This is Improve Seats on ARCN Television, Abuja. Welcome back. I told you the women are taking over the whole right now. And to top it up, they are coppers. They are ready to explore and of course educate us on what they've learned. Practical aspect of it. As I told you, I have a female. Welcome to the program, Miss Ruth.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm very fine.
So what did you read in school?
I read agricultural extension and rural sociology.
Wow. So when you gained admission to this course, how excited were you?
Well, it wasn't surprising to me. That's because I actually applied for agric myself.
Okay.
I applied for agric.
Oh.
So when I was given the course, I was very, very much
So
excited.
you love agric from your
Yes,
mindset.
I love agric.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So how has it been? I know you've not gone to the wider world, but right now, how well have you practicalized that?
Well, it has been good and it has been helpful. Going to school, reading agric has been helpful to me. My parents are farmers, and so growing up in the farming environment was an exciting moment for me. And so reading agric too made it more exciting.
Oh.
So at this point, it has helped me because a lot of things that I didn't know before, and I know, and I know how to do it even better.
Well, that is good. Right, we're going to talk about dwarfed banana. So what is the propagation of dwarf banana? And why dwarf banana?
Okay, propagation in a main plain language simply means planting.
Okay.
Planting, that is in the layman language, it means planting. And why I picked dwarf banana, it's because dwarf banana has proven to outstand every other kind of banana, in the sense that when it comes to diseases like Panama, which is very common in banana production, dwarf banana has proven to be resistant to these particular diseases. So, and then the fruit itself is very, very much, when you plant it, you get a bountiful harvest. And then when we talk about dwarf banana, I know some people will be thinking it means the fruit itself. It's not the fruit itself we are talking about, it's the plant, that is the banana tree itself. There are some plants that you see the plant looking so short, but yet having a bountiful harvest, having a big fruit. Do you get? So that is what we are talking about, and that is why I picked dwarf banana.
So that is the improved variety of banana. All right. So what duration now does it take for the banana to grow?
2 to 3 years.
2 to 3 years.
That's when it gets from the planting period to the time of harvest.
That is from the sucker stage.
Yes, to the time of harvesting.
All right then. Can you now tell us what are some of the process of planting and how do you even get your sucker?
Okay, as I've earlier said, I have a farm. I have a banana garden, so I actually got my sucker from my farm.
Okay, so suckers are gotten from existing bananas.
Yes, they are gotten from already existing bananas. Yes, that grows up from the already existing banana plant that is there. So when you check around it, you will see some other small ones that are growing up. So that is how you get your sucker. On that aspect, yes, when we get to the practical aspect, we'll see it. But before then, how you get your sucker, you go for already existing plant, as I said, and a plant that it's big and matured. You don't go for the small ones that are still just coming up. You go for the one that is big and mature, and then you dig it out from the roots using your either knife or using a hoe or a cutlass. Yes, so you dig it out with your cutlass or with your hoe, and that's how you get your banana sucker.
So, what are some of the pests and diseases that affects banana, and then how do you control it?
Okay, as bad as it may sound, but then I will still have to say it. Human being, it's a #1 pest to a banana.
Wow.
Yes, it's a pest to banana, because I've experienced whereby my banana is growing and then getting matured. I'm happy that of course I'm going to harvest, and before you know, home from nowhere, somebody has harvested it from my farm. So human being, that is rodents too, like rats, monkeys and the rest, are some of the pests that affect our banana plant, especially when it has started fruiting. Yes, especially when it has started fruiting.
Okay, so the botanical types of pests, such as bacteria, fungi, other types?
Yes, we have. I've mentioned one already, which is Panama. It is called Fusarium wilt of banana. It affects the banana plants. And then we have banana mosaic virus, which also affects banana plants. So in a situation whereby you notice that your banana plant is the leaves are getting withered and then they are drying up, that means there's a problem, especially at that tender stage where it's meant to still be growing and coming up, and then you notice something like that, that means there's a problem. And the only way you can prevent this, as sad as it is, it's just to uproot that banana completely. Yes, you have to uproot it completely and then allow the land, like you have to free the land for 2 to 3 years without planting on it. Yes,
so imagine
that is how it is.
So imagine you've planted your banana, it has reached 3 years, you're about to enjoy the fruiting, and then it gets affected and you have to uproot it.
Well, that is why it's advisable that first of all, before you start your banana plantation, you have to make sure that you are getting clean suckers. Your material should be very clean. in order to avoid something like that in the nearest future, in order to avoid loss. So first of all, you get your very clean sucker where you start your propagation with, and then make sure that your soil it's not contaminated, it's free from any kind of virus or bacteria or diseases. Then with that, we avoid anything that might occur like that.
All right, so how do you identify the right soil so that you avoid some of these problems that affect the suckers?
Okay, when you want to propagate, just like the one we want to do, we will see it more in the practical aspect. But then, before then, when you look at the sucker itself, you will know when something is infected because there's a cutting process going on. So you will have to look for clean one. When we cut it, we'll get to see if it is infected or it is very clean. It is from there that you first of all start. And then when you are propagating it to, it's best advised that sawdust should be your best medium for the banana sucker growth at that early stage. Yes, you can do it using sawdust, and then containing ashes, because ashes has proven to contain phosphorus, potassium, and other relevant nutrients that the plant needs. And then we'll be adding organic manure to it. Organic manure to it. We are using organic manure because we want everything to be organic, so it will be more healthy to our health. We are not just doing it for the income, but for our well-being as well.
You've listened to her. The right soil, the right sucker are the best ways at which you are going to get good banana harvest at the end of the day. Hence, we should try as much as possible to be careful. As humans, she said, we are number one pest against suckers of bananas. We'll be right back. When we're going on a short break, we'll come back. She'll tell us the advantages attached to having this dwarf banana compared to other types of bananas. And then if there are different types of bananas, of course, she's going to highlight it. This is still Improved Seeds on your first agricultural television in the capital city of Abuja. Don't go anywhere. We still have Ruth, our guest, in the house, a couple who wants to take us to the world of banana. And before we went on the break, we were talking about dwarf banana, the advantage that is needed to, cultivate or propagate banana is what we're going to hear her say now. So, Ruth, what are the advantages as a farmer, as a young farmer that you are? What are the advantages between propagating dwarf banana and the other banana?
Thank you, ma'am. The advantages of cultivating dwarf banana I said disease resistant, and then the fruit itself, when you see it, it's very matured and then attractive. It comes in a very fruitful way. So there is no how you will go to the market, for instance, you are seeing a banana that is looking so fleshy and big, and you will want to go for the one that it's not looking good at all. Even looking at it, it's eye-catching. Yes.
So are these dwarf bananas, are they the ones that come short as their name implies, or do they come big? And I don't know, how do you identify from the fruits?
The dwarf banana, I've said this before, it's not the fruit itself, it's the plant. You will see some bananas looking so short and yet it's already fruiting, and you'll be telling yourself this plant is too small to start fruiting. Those are the kind of dwarf banana, and when you look at it, looking at the fruit, you see it very big. They have big fruits, and so when you see them, that is how to identify them from the plant, first of all, and then the fruits.
Wow.
That is how to identify this.
So if you're talking about that, it's better you even go for it more. It gives you more economic and more
Exactly.
money. Wow.
Exactly.
Micro propagation of dwarf banana sucker. Banana, like other fruit plants, do not have seeds. They do not have seed for planting. What is used for planting is banana is called sucker. It's called sucker. And so when we talk about micro propagation of this banana sucker, we are talking about the multiple way, the smaller way of producing these suckers. Instead of waiting for a whole plant, because these suckers are gotten from parent plant, they are gotten from the parent plant, which means for you to get a sucker, you will have to wait for a matured plant, a matured banana plant, to produce small suckers. If you check around a banana tree, you will see some other small part of it coming out. They are called suckers. Now, instead of waiting for that particular parent plant to produce these small suckers, you can simply multiply this parent sucker, that is the parent plant. You can multiply it to get multiple suckers within a period of time, within a shorter period of time. Now, how do we do this? How do we multiply this parent sucker to get multiple suckers? You first of all get a clean sucker, that is a parent sucker. You get a parent plant. You get a clean sucker. Make sure it is disease free. Yes, it is not infected by any disease or pest or whatsoever. Get a clean sucker and get sawdust. Sawdust is used as the substrate or the medium of growth. You get your sawdust, you get your wood ash. Now this wood ash serve as a sterilizer. It is used to sterilize the cotton. And you get your knife. Meanwhile, the sucker itself can be planted, like it can be planted, a whole sucker can be planted to produce a parent sucker. That is a smaller sucker that you get from a parent sucker can be planted to grow into a matured banana tree or banana plant. Now, how do we do this? It is simply done by just digging a hole of 0.5 meter, that is 50 centimeter to 60 centimeter, depending on the size of this particular sucker that you have. It is simply done by just digging. You dig and you plant, you cover and water. That is how it is. It is that simple. But when it comes to propagation, that is the micro propagation of this very one, you have to get these things I've mentioned already, which is the clean sucker, the sawdust, the wood ash, and your knife and water as well. So the first thing to do when you have your sucker is, first of all, you start by peeling of the dwarf banana sucker. You peel the sucker, peel it clean, and then cross-cutting of the pseudostem. Pseudostem, it is that part, that smaller portion. When you have cut the longer portion of this banana tree, that smaller part that you are going to cut into pieces is what is called the pseudostem. So you cross-cut the pseudostem and then you cut it, giving you 20 to 25 gram at least. You can cut to that portion. Now when you cut, you remove the eye. Now the reason for removing the eye is to promote more sprouting. It is done to promote more sprouting. Now when you remove the eye, you add little water to your ashes in a different bowl. Add little water to your ashes and then turn in this soda stem that you already cut into 20 to 25 gram. Turn it into the ashes, that is the liquid, the already mixed ashes. You turn it there and allow for about 30 minutes. 30 minutes. You can just drop or keep in a cool place. Do not sun dry. Do not keep it under sun. So when you sterilize it, now the process and the reason for keeping it for this 30 minutes is to sterilize it, to kill every microorganism that might be following this or that might be on this particular suckers. So when you do that, you prepare your nursery. Now you prepare your nursery. The nursery is being prepared using sawdust, wood ash and organic manure. You mix together. Now the reason for putting this wood ash inside the sawdust is to serve. Wood ash contains um, nutrients like potassium, calcium and so on, which are very important for the growth of this banana. So you mix them. And then organic manure. We are using organic manure because we are doing it organically. We want everything to be organic. We don't want all those chemicals. And that is the reason for even sterilizing with ashes, not using chemicals to sterilize. There are chemicals that can be used to sterilize, but we'll be using wood ash because we want everything to be organic, which is very good for our health. Now when you mix these three um, mixtures together, these components together, which is the wood ash, the sawdust and the organic manure, now you use it to prepare your nursery. Once your nursery is ready, your cuttings are being sterilized. That's for about 30 minutes. You take it to the nursery where you do your planting. Now you plant and making sure that the pericarp is touching the soil. Yes, plant making sure that the pericarp is touching the soil. And then when you do your planting, you cover, that is the sowing of that cut. Now the cuttings, you sow it and then cover and water. You cover and water properly. Now you can also mulch. Mulching is done to promote faster germination because of the extra humidity to promote sprouting. So you can mulch your nursery bed. You mulch it using dry leaves. Even banana dry leaves can be used to mulch your nursery. Now after mulching, you water it and ensure you water morning and evening. Yes, morning and evening for the meantime, for at least until the plant starts sprouting. Then after which you can now transfer your suckers, because by the time it grows, it's going to come out in a very little and tender way, which is called the sucker. Now that sucker can now be transplant to the permanent site where you want your plantation to be. These suckers can now be transplanted to this very site. Now when you transplant them, you have to take care of them also, water them and ensure that they grow first to some extent before you can now allow them to grow on their own. Banana is known to be resistant to drought, but in as much as it is, you have to water it when it is very tender so that it will get its roots and be well established first. It will be well established on the ground, firm on the ground, before you can allow it grow on its own. So this is how this whole process is being done.
She has said it. This is the theory aspect of it. The practical aspect of it will be more elaborated, and I'm sure you want to see and know exactly what she has just said. Keep a date with us next episode for the practical aspects. This is Improved Seats on ARCN Television. I am Hilda Homsen Fantuam saying keep watching the program.